Hey Ray, how are
Hey,
you?
Ben, how are you
Man,
doing?
good. I'm good. Good. The well, I thought we'd have a little chat about the Ashokan Ukulele Weekend. It's got a new name now. It used to be called the Uke Fest. And then we thought
Okay.
since it's a nice weekend, Memorial Day weekend, we'll call it the Ukulele Weekend. What do you
Love
think?
it. I
Love
love
it.
it.
And this
I
is going to
hear
be
it's
your first
beautiful.
time there. What's
Yes,
that?
and I hear it's absolutely gorgeous up there.
It's really nice. I mean, Uh, it's I like to say it's where nature meets music or music meets nature. It's kind of, you're out in the wilderness there a little bit, and there's nice little trails, and there's an old covered bridge and a waterfall, and it's really neat. You're really going to enjoy it. Um, and it's a great it's almost like a big family reunion because we get about half of the people come every year, and then we always get some new people, and just the camaraderie between everybody, the artists with each other and with the attendees, they all come home with new friends that they've met, and of course a lot of new knowledge that they've attained. So first, how do you pronounce your last name?
Cygrymus.
Ray Cygrymus.
Yep.
Cygrymus. Okay.
Yep.
The or Ray C, as you are often known. We'll
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
you.
That makes it
But
easier for people.
yeah, so we've kind of been in touch with each other through Facebook for the last couple of years, and we have a lot of friends in common. And last year, well, this past year actually, was the first time I actually got to work with you at Midwest Uke and Harmonica Camp, and which is a wonderful experience, like Ashokan. And I have to tell you that I we do a survey after every festival, and your reviews on your teaching were just off the charts, Ray. They were
Oh, wow.
really, everybody just loved your teaching style, your easygoingness. You were great to work with and very effective from what it sounds like. So,
Very happy to
congratulations
hear.
on that. And when I saw
Thank you
those, I
so
go, well,
much.
I've got to get Ray at one of my festivals next year. So we're bringing you to Ashokan. If you could tell everybody a little bit about your background. I know you've done some musical theater, you teach, you do all kinds of things. So,
My background basically started when I was a kid. Uh, my sister was into the Beatles and all of the British pop music back in the 60s. And so I'm dating myself. But then my brother was into movie soundtracks like the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and James Bond and things like that. And so I kind of like my early influences of music were more of the classical type movie themes, dramatic music, along with pop music.
hmm.
I got in then, and also when I was a kid, I loved movies and wanted to be an actor when I was a little kid. We would act out movies as little kids. And one of the things that kind of we acted out all the time was Jesus Christ Superstar, the original Brown album. And that was always a dream of mine to be able to play the role of Jesus in that. And eventually, years and years later, I got to do that, and I did the role of Jesus in live theater productions, professional productions, about 12 different productions. So I was very
Wow.
blessed to have done that. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, playing the role of Jesus, that's some pretty big sandals to fill, I would say.
Yes, yes, it was not easy. In fact, it was so physical. The physical part of the thing. I ended up getting a hip replacement right before the pandemic from doing a lot of stage combat and falls and kind of like things like that. And I always took the route in doing live stage work to do a lot of stunts and things like that. So
Yeah.
that kind of it was fun, but but I'm fine now. But anyway, and
Well, you
then
won't have to, no fighting at Ashokan.
Yeah, no,
We
no
don't have
fight. Yeah,
to.
we won't do.
No, no
And I've
fighting.
actually taught some, done some stage choreography, which is fun too. But we won't do any of that in
Huh.
Ashokan. No.
Okay. That's
But
great.
my biggest influence, because of the theatrical end when I was little, was when a friend came over to my house and he brought an album, and it had these four guys in this black and white makeup that were very theatrical, and he said, "You got to hear this band." So he puts on Kiss Destroyer
Jeez.
and onto my little General Electric turntable. So we start playing the Kiss Destroyer, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is it." I'm like,
Oh
so
no.
from that point on, I was hooked. I started off by playing guitar, as a lot of other ukulele players have done.
Yep.
So I was just obsessed with music and theater throughout my entire life, and I've kind of done both, like, hand in hand. I do more music right now than I do theater, though, but there was a time when I did more theater than music. But
Okay.
basically, when I found the ukulele from my brother, went to Hawaii and brought me back a beautiful Pono ukulele, and I played it at gigs when I was gigging here in Pittsburgh for a couple years. Then I kind of got out of it. But then when we started adding ukulele into our curriculum, into the school curriculum, that's when I really, really became obsessed with it. And I just love it, even to this day, more than the guitar. But you can sit on the couch and constantly practice with it. It's more dynamic, it's more percussive. It just has so many more things. And then I realized, through the use of experimenting with pedals and things like that, you can do a lot of the same things that a guitar does with two less strings. And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so that's where my love for it came, and just the attitude of ukulele players. Like everyone I've met at a ukulele festival, the artists, along with the people that participate, the vibe is just so wonderful and so cool. And
So
like, you guitarists a lot of times are very, like, their nose up in the air and everything's
they're
competition.
competitive. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, it's a
see
very
that with.
supportive and nurturing environment, and you can have the
Absolutely.
top players in the world and someone that just started, and they're all working together and playing music
Yeah,
together. It really is
it's
special.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah.
definitely is.
Well, cool. Well, the yeah, so you mentioned you're an elementary school teacher, right?
Yes,
Do you
yes.
teach
And
all subjects or just music?
just music. I've been
Okay, cool.
teaching 30 years. This is my last year. I'm retiring after this year. So I've been teaching
Congratulations.
in the same building, general music, for 30 years. I taught 2 years in a Catholic high school prior to that, a Catholic grade school, sorry. But I do that, and I've been doing that for 30 years. And we have a ukulele program in our general music classroom. We've been doing
Great.
that for about 8 years now, and it's really great. And we do a lot of cool songs with the kids. Try to keep it, like, this year we did some Taylor Swift, and they were loving it. Oh, the girls were loving it. The
Of
boys weren't
course.
necessarily loving it.
A lot of the boys are kind of into it though, too. They just don't want to admit it, I think.
Yeah, it's, well, when they
Plus, if
get
the
to be
girls are
playing
into
it.
it, some of the guys are into it then too.
Yeah,
So
the boys were into playing her tunes for sure. They were into,
they didn't
because
want to
like,
sing the words about the
yeah,
breakups and all that. So
yeah, exactly. But playing
that's
them,
great. That's great.
so
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I've got a 7-year-old grandson and a 9-year-old granddaughter, and they were both Swifties. And I said, that's cool. They love music, and I give her a lot of credit for really nurturing her fan base and getting a lot of people excited about music. So um,
me too.
they all props to her, I say. But we haven't, you and I off camera here, haven't yet talked about the workshops you're going to do. But like I said, at Ashokan, but like I said, the ones you did at Midwest Youth Camp were really well received. And what are some of your favorite subjects to teach for ukulele for adults?
Some of my favorite ones are definitely the effects pedals workshop. because I'm very, very passionate about using effects to enhance the sound of your ukulele. So, and
Hmm.
I tell people all the time that take the workshops, I say, if you ever have a question, message me because I will get back to you. And I love talking about gear. So I will talk about gear all day long. So I love that one because that one for me is a little bit less. I mean, be honest with you, even when it's a workshop, anytime you teach in front of people, you want to make sure that they understand that you're taking it at the correct pace, that you're breaking down things. So I'm actually a little nervous when I do workshops. I want to make sure that
Oh,
everyone,
absolutely.
yeah, everyone there gets out of the workshop what is intended. It's it's not always like easy. Oh, I'm just going to go teach, but the pedal board workshop is kind of a thing where it's just telling you what is out there, what they can use, what the recommendations are, how you can hook them up, and then at the end of the workshop they get to do a little open mic where they get to play along and experiment with some of these
Oh, that's
effects.
cool.
So I love that part because a lot of people
Well,
they
that's
love
going to
to.
be a nice little change of pace there at Ashokan because we're always like so acoustic there. So
Yeah,
um,
so yeah, so
it'll
I
be
know some
cool.
people may not be into it, but if you're into it, I'm here to kind of,
Absolutely.
and I
Well,
love
there's so
doing
much to consider, the order of the pedals, in the chain and
yeah.
like I said, which kind of pedals you're using and well, that'll be fun. And then what a couple of the other classes you enjoy
The other
teaching
one
and
is
you feel are
just
effective?
experimenting with different techniques to make your playing a little bit more tasty, as far as like palm muting, alternate strums, uh, playing some licks. I love teaching a little bit of improvisation with people and having them break down that barrier or that fear of
Hmm.
improvising. Because I mean, when we always say we're having a jam, it's like I always think like, okay, let's jam and play along songs. But if everyone can like break out of that fear of doing a little lick here and there or an introduction to a song, I love that kind of stuff. And I think people enjoy that as well because when you break down and you don't go too intense, you realize that, hey, I can solo too, and that's one of
Yeah.
my workshops.
Well, and less is more a lot of times in soloing too. So,
Exactly, exactly.
you don't have to shred every note in the world. Just play some of the right ones. And if you play a couple of the bad ones, just repeat it and it'll seem like you meant to do that, right?
That's exactly it.
Well, I notice on you've got a Springsteen shirt on there, which anyone that knows me knows he's my main guy. So I think we'll have to break out a little bit of Springsteen at the concert up there. So that'll be
Yes. Oh
fun.
my God.
That'll be great.
That would be
Well, anything
amazing.
else you want people to know about you before we go here? Because we've got registration open now and people are signing up, and we've got a great staff of instructors this year with Victoria Vox, who's was there, I think, the
Great.
first time I was at Ashokan, Avery Hill, uh, Cindy Miller, who I met at
Yeah.
Ashokan when she was there as an attendee, and Andy Wilson will be coming with me
Oh,
from Lansing, and you got to well, you met Andy at camp.
oh, yeah, he's
He's a
amazing.
he's a monster, man. So he'll be teaching harmonica and some baritone uke, and who knows, he plays like every instrument in the world, and you and me. So it's going to be quite a nice staff just out in the beautiful natural setting of Ashokan. It's just beautiful. But yeah, if any last things you want to tell everybody before we sign off here?
Anyone that's on the West Coast, I'm very pleased to announce and very blessed that I'm going to be doing a West Coast tour with Little Rev in September through
Oh,
October next year. So we will
awesome.
be, yeah. So I'm like over the moon about that. We're going to be
That's cool.
going to Reno, Colorado, St. Louis, lots of different places. So we're going to get in his van and we're going to drive out to California and see
Really?
hit
Oh,
the
from
road.
Wisconsin to California.
Yeah. So Yeah, so everyone look forward for those dates that will be coming up. So I'm super excited about that. Super excited about other festival opportunities coming up in 2025 as I will be retired. So I'm looking to do a lot
Yeah,
more with this
absolutely.
and hoping to, yeah, like it's just I love it. And I always say to people at work, I'm not retiring. I'm just changing careers for right now, but it's
Yeah.
still
Oh
important to,
yeah. It's
yeah,
it's a lot of fun, but it is a lot of work too.
yeah,
So,
yeah, it is, but
well,
it's good
good.
work.
It's good work. Yes. You but it's been great talking with you and you and I will be in touch soon and everybody else keep an eye out on the Ashokan Ute Group Facebook page as well as stay in touch in all of our Facebook pages because we'll all be talking more and more about it as it comes up. Again, it's Memorial Day weekend, the end of May. I can't remember the exact dates, but it's Memorial Day weekend, and it's a great time. And I'm looking forward to seeing you there, Ray, and looking forward to seeing all of our audience watching this. So,
Same here. Yep.
all right, take it easy, man.
All right. See you. Thanks.
So long.